How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have a lot of news happening over the last 24 hours, including some big events happening next week. We have some news coming out that FRC Bank might not be the last bank that collapses. Some nails put in the coffin there from Jim Cramer. We also have some big partnerships happening in crypto. There's a lot to cover. But I'm going to try to get through it quickly. Hit subscribe underneath the video. Turn on that bell notification so you know right when I post future videos. And if you want exclusive access to extra videos and early access, and you want to know what I'm buying and selling, you can check out the link to the Patreon underneath the video. There's also a couple other links in case you want some free money. I would highly suggest signing up for Webull. If you're outside the country and you want to start trading crypto on margin, you can check out the link to Margex. Now, Bitcoin up at 29,400, not moving too much in the last 24 hours, but you can see it's up 1.2%. Overall, the whole crypto industry has been green for the week, green for the day, green for the last hour. It's all looking pretty good. Now, later this week, we have a pretty big earnings week. Not as big as last week because we had so many big tech companies, but still we have Uber, BP, Pfizer, Marriott, Marathon, AMD, Ford, Starbucks all on one day. We also have Vici that day, which is a big favorite among the YouTube crowd. CVS, Qualcomm, SolarEdge, Apple, Shopify, DraftKings, Lyft, a lot of big companies here. So be on your toes this week. We also have AMC for all those apes out there. And then we also have the Fed meeting on the 2nd and 3rd, which is going to end Wednesday. So we're going to see their next Fed rate hike decision. Probably going to be 25 basis points. The market is pricing in about an 84% chance of this. I wouldn't be surprised if the market really didn't go down if they raise 25 basis points just because there's some certainty there. And then we're going to have to see what Jerome Powell says. I made a video yesterday talking about his secret interview. If you haven't seen that already, he did allude to what they were going to do in the next couple rate decisions. So go watch that if you haven't already. Now, moving on to crypto a little bit, and then we'll move back to stocks and the banking sector. Crypto's looking really good when you look at the historical halving cycle. Basically, we are 3/4 of the way to the next halving from the previous halving. Each one of these rings is basically how far we are into the halving, with the halving at the top at 12 o'clock. And then you can go around. You can see the bottoms here. We're all in this kind of third sector. Most of them right around about 5/8 of the way through the clock. So right around this level, the first bottom was back closer to 9 o'clock, but you can see we're past 9 o'clock now. So historically, we have already hit bottoms every single cycle before this. Now, of course, we could break history and all of a sudden we could go down to 15,000 and hit a new bottom, but chances are, as we get closer and closer to the halving, that's less and less likely. All-time highs all are close to around this level. So we are not even halfway to the next all-time high in terms of halving. So we're still 2 years plus away, about 2 years and 6 months or so away from the next all-time high historically. So we could be looking at late 2025. That would be historically where we would see the next all-time high. So things are looking up for crypto. Now, things are not looking up for traditional banking. Obviously, a lot of people have been watching First Republic Bank. I've been reporting it almost every day this week. We had some massive drops, like Monday, right? Monday into Tuesday, we had a massive red day where First Republic fell dramatically. There were a couple days where it fell 50%, then 25% after hours. And then Thursday it had an okay day. And then Friday went down 43.3%, 33% after hours. So this is like a $500 million bank now. And if we go back just a couple months ago, back early March, it was 30 or 40 times the size that it is now. Actually, more than that. It was about 45 times or 50 times the size that it is now, which it's such a huge difference. You go from $20 billion, you had $200 billion plus in deposits to now well under $100 billion, and that was before this week. So I can imagine they're basically down to tens of billions of deposits, if not less. Here's some of the news that happened last night. First Republic Bank to be taken into receivership per Reuters report. I said this earlier this week that this bank was basically dead in the water. U.S. government worked on multiple private rescue options and found zero takers. FRC stock plunged another 48% in after-hours trading. It actually ended about 33% in the negative for after-hours trading. But no one wanted to help out this bank. No one wanted to do anything that they didn't have to do. They were looking for government reassurance and protections, but they didn't really get that. So now, they had no options. This is at 4:45 p.m. Then a few hours later, it came out that JP Morgan is planning to buy First Republic, but this is after the government seizes and shuts down First Republic, and they'll make a bid after this happens. So it makes sense, right? If you're a large bank, they were reaching out to you earlier this week, the U.S. government was, to try to get you to help out FRC. But they had already given $30 billion worth of deposits, and basically, you know that if you don't help this bank out, they're going to collapse, and you're probably going to be fine if you're one of the big banks. If you're one of the small banks, you can't afford to try to buy them out. But if you're JP Morgan, and you can buy this for pennies on the dollar if you just wait a few days, and you already know that deposits are coming in because this bank is collapsing, right? If they had $200 billion worth of deposits, say JP Morgan gets a fourth of that, they get $50 billion in extra deposits just from watching this thing crumble, and they're going to be fine. So they can wait, they can buy this for pennies on the dollar after the government already has it and all the bleeding's gone. So you can pretty much just pick through the business what you want of it, and then you can kill off the rest of it. And Jim Cramer also destroyed the banking sector. He says that the collapse of First Republic Bank could mark the end of the banking crisis. Keep an eye on these time marks. So 8:08 p.m., he says, basically, this is the end of the banking crisis. He also said a month ago that FRC was a very good bank. So a month ago, he was wrong. He constantly is wrong. So 8:08 p.m., he says that. And then less than an hour later, according to sources inside government agencies, they don't think First Republic will be the last, maybe 4 or 5 more to come of these massive banking failures. Now, keep in mind, FRC was the largest bank that we've seen so far. It's bigger than SVB. It's bigger than the other bank. I'm blanking on the name of it that also went down after SVB. It is smaller, I believe, than Credit Suisse significantly, but still, it's a massive bank here in the U.S. that's collapsing. The U.S. has not come out, or the government agencies have not come out and said that all deposits were going to be covered like in SVB's case. We don't know. Now, maybe they go through and they say, hey, yeah, we're going to protect all deposits. But also, depending on how many deposits are left and how big the gap is that they don't have money for, the government agencies may not be able to actually protect this because they only have so much insurance. Last time I checked, it was around $100 billion or $150 billion worth of insurance that they've collected from these banks over the years. And they have $10 trillion worth of deposits or something like that. So the fact is, they don't have enough money to go backstop every single bank. So if you had over $1 million and you were trying to withdraw it and you didn't withdraw in time, you might not get that money back. So put your money at some place that's safe and make sure that you spread it around. If you have over $250,000, you're not going to be covered. So keep that in mind. Maybe move it to some brokerage accounts or something like that just to get some extra safety. Now, all that is happening. Jim Cramer pretty much put the nail in the coffin. The other banks are going to collapse. And we got good news for crypto. So, we're looking at the two sides of the coin here. Crypto's looking good, making massive partnerships. Normal banking is collapsing. MasterCard partners with Polygon, Solana, Ava, Avalanche, and others to launch crypto credentials system. They say that they're unveiling a new innovative step in their work in blockchain technology. Specifically, the payment company has unveiled MasterCard crypto credential in collaboration with Polygon, Solana, AVAX, and more. The payment company announced the services could instill trust in the blockchain ecosystem, which is really important. I mean, that's one of the most sought after things right now is trust in crypto. You need to be able to believe that you can hold your own keys or you have them in a company or some platform that's safe. That's something that a lot of people just don't feel comfortable with now. They said MasterCard crypto credentials will establish a set of common standards and infrastructure that will help attest trusted interactions among consumers and businesses using blockchain networks. They also said that consumer and business verification needs vary widely based on market and compliance requirements. MasterCard crypto credentials is looking to ensure that those interested in interacting across Web3 environments are meeting defined standards for the types of activities they'd like to pursue. They say collaboration with networks like Polygon and Solana only speaks to the potential of the technology. And as you can see here, Polygon up 2.6% and Solana up 5.5%. So both outpacing Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, XRP also. But that is good news for crypto. Anything that helps accelerate the amount of trust or the usability in crypto, the ease of use in crypto, I think is fantastic. We also got news that PayPal is going to allow transfers from Venmo accounts to on-chain wallets next month. This is good news too, so that way people have access to their crypto and can actually pull it off of exchanges and off of centralized entities. That just helps everyone in the space. Now, Bitcoin dominance is going up, even though a couple different cryptos are moving up, outpacing Bitcoin. Overall, Bitcoin's still outpacing the crypto industry. Bitcoin dominance at 48.7%. Good news for Bitcoin holders. Of course, do your own due diligence, but I think Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to go up, whether we move up against USD pairs or not. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Let me know what you're looking out for this week and how big you think this news is if more banks are going to keep on collapsing. Obviously, I think this is going to push up crypto because we've seen that last couple times when a bank is collapsing, we've had major runs for crypto. Just make sure that you do not get stomped out of your position in case, there are some short liquidations or long liquidations. Make sure you are comfortable with how you're investing in crypto and, if you're using leverage, that kind of thing. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the links underneath the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.